Hi, Divine Feminine. This reading is going to be just for you, um, letting you know exactly what's going on with the Divine Masculine. So, yes, I actually just posted a twin flame reading. Make sure that you check that out because, of course, I'm really letting you guys know what's going on with the Divine Masculine, but I do kind of tap more into your energy as well in the reading. This reading, though, we are going to look at what exactly is going on with the shadow side of the Divine Masculine. Um, Divine feminines right now I feel are very triggered by the divine masculine because divine masculines are still just not, they're not doing anything according to the plan. Okay. So what we want to do is find out what is taking them so long to get out of this foolishness. Okay, like what is the holdup? What is the deal? You guys, my name is Tori. Thank you so much for stopping by. I think I have like 100 subscribers now. I've only been on YouTube now for about 2 or 3 weeks. I've been actually uploading videos. So thank you so much if you are returning and if you're new, hey. um, you guys, the energy is fluid, okay? Of course, all of these messages may not resonate with you. These things are, could have already happened. They may be happening right now or they may happen in the future. He could be a she could be a he, okay? Keep in mind that everyone has their own free will, so I can't tell you exactly how your situation will end, of course. I'm just here to deliver you messages, hopefully providing you with some truth and clarity. And of course, you guys, the roles may be reversed, okay? But this reading is to just really just spy on divine masculine and see what does he have going on right now, okay? So you guys, I have this Heal Yourself Oracle deck. So let's just tap in and see. Like I said, what does he need to heal? Like what is his issue? Jeez. Because I just feel this aggravation from Divine Feminine. She's just like, Divine Feminine is like, okay, I tell you what to do. I'm talking to you telepathically, and I'm giving you all of the cues, all the signs, the signals, and you still go and just do something mad crazy. All right. So we have here selling out, inner child, and take off your mask. Look at the selling out card. And you have these are oracle cards, so I am going to read the messages, and then I will pull from the tarot. This is the inner child. So yeah, there's some healing work that divine masculine needs to do. Okay. And then wow, take off your mask. Yeah, I think that for many of them they're still being fake. Still being fake, still being phony, you know? It's like letting go, they just can't. They don't know what real even looks like anymore. They've gotten so far away from themselves, they're lost. They're lost. Seriously. I'm just gonna take these. I love these cards. I'm just gonna take three. So I also have this deck. It's called the Dark Mirror deck. I used it on one of my other readings in the past, and the messages were really good. It's not the type of deck that I use often. It's specifically to read, like shadow side energy, and that's exactly what we want to do in this reading. Okay. Ooh. These divine masculines, some of them they have a lot of anxiety and they're just a mess. Okay, they really are. So it says gilded regret. I'm gonna take that. This one says bride in a cage. And I know most of the time people think of bride as a female, but okay, feminine energies can be male or female. He could be a she could be a he, okay. And then we have downcast pride. Look at that picture. So, like I said, you guys, I am going to read what these cards mean, and then we'll just get into the tarot here in a minute. I may pull from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck last. I think we have enough right now because some of these messages are a little long. And you guys, I really enjoy spending my time with you guys, but I know y'all don't want to be here with me forever, okay? So, the first part here is selling out. So let's see what selling out is about. In the previous reading that I actually just posted, the thing that I was mentioning was the fact that some of these divine masters, you guys, they have finally gotten themselves out of this state of being entrapped with like karmics. But for some of them, to be honest, they're moving into another karmic cycle. Because for some of them, I just get the vibe that they are being reckless right now. Like they're being, some of them aren't young, but you know that like they're making young, reckless like decisions. Just being stupid. To be honest, I'm sorry. That was harsh. I'm sorry, but this card says selling out, okay? Your integrity and inner strength are being severely tested. You have an opportunity to act with either fear or love. So yeah, I feel like a lot of the divine masculines right now, you guys, they have the chance and opportunity right now to get things together. They can move on. Some of them are free, they're single, they have the opportunity to really come to you and offer you commitment, stability, and everything. But instead, many of them are still just in this state of being toxic and codependent, and they don't have the courage to actually stand up for themselves and take the appropriate steps towards building a life with you. Like they don't, okay? It says here, selling out is linked to the shadow aspect of the prostitute archetype. When you connect to this archetype, you can examine your fears around survival, power, responsibility, and success. On the light side, the prostitute can lead you to freedom, self-expression, choice, and love. So yeah, it's like with selling out here, they have the opportunity to actually really choose love. To choose being divine masculine, but for some of them, to be completely honest, they're so deep, like just deeply trapped in their own voids and vices that they will still choose the wrong path. It's sort of like, well, kudos to you that you chose a different path and you ended one situation, but the bad news is you went the wrong way. You know, and I feel like that is the frustration for a lot of the divine feminines. Like divine masculine has finally taken the necessary steps to get out of the karmic situation, but many divine feminists can see them walking them like running actually into another divine. I'm sorry, see themselves running into another karmic situation. And I feel the divine feminine is sort of like, hey, here I am. Like, what are you doing? This isn't a part of the plan. And a lot of them, they're a sellout. They don't know what it's like to fight for something. They don't know what it's like to really, really love something. Okay? I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but I've seen this quote, I think, on social media. But when you have based love, when you've been raised, what is it like when you've been raised based off of love? It's different for someone that only loves based on survival. Okay? You guys want to offer them genuine love, and this person is like, no, I have to just do whatever it takes to get by. Okay? So whatever is going to bring them the most money, the most, clout. Like these people, they love to have their egos stroked. Okay? Divine masculine, he'll sell his soul for clout. It's ridiculous. Whew. I know divine feminine. I can sense your frustration. So the next part is the inner child. Okay. This says your inner child is urging you to lighten up a little, get out of your comfort zone, and have fun. So I feel that right now, for some of the divine masculines, they are in this playful like energy. Some of them, if you've heard from them, they may be calling you, texting you, and even just in their personal lives, even when they're not dealing with you, especially for the ones that are breaking away from the karmic, or they have actually separated from the karmic, they really are right now trying to be more spontaneous. They're being more creative. Some of them, they may change the way they they look, or there's just something new about them, okay? For some of them, they are enjoying the fact that like this weight has been lifted from them, but there's still something about them that keeps them closed in. Like they're still, it's like many of them are doing what is expected of them. And it's interesting because we have this bride in a cage card right underneath this, and I'll read that in a minute. But they're still doing things according to societal norms or what is expected of them, okay? They're not actually dealing with the pain, the hurt, the rejection, or the fact that they've been lonely or they've been abandoned at some point. They're not dealing with any of that. In fact, what they're doing is they are hiding these inner child wounds and issues by trying to draw in more attention. Okay, many of them are displaying a lot of just narcissistic traits at this point. And I don't like to call everyone a narcissist, but the truth is, I think that even the sweetest person may have some narcissistic traits. And I feel that this person right now, divine masculine, he may actually be afraid of having this new beginning. He's frightened in a way. He's feeling abandoned. He's feeling lonely. He doesn't really know what to do or how to go about doing things because they've been set in their ways for so long. But instead of them really getting to the root of those fears and addressing it, they are trying to get over one karmic by getting under another karmic. Or they're working themselves to death. Or they think that if they go and buy new clothes, or they cut their hair different, or they buy a new car, like, they're just being reckless. Okay? Just reckless. So this says here, take off your mask. Or masks, plural form. Because some of them, they have multiple masks that they wear. They're a different person with every person that they deal with. You never know what you will get when you deal with divine masculine. Because they don't want to confront themselves, right? So take off your mask. It says, stop trying to appear different to who you really are. It's time to take off your mask and be the real you. So again, this divine masculine now, he craves the attention and the love from his divine feminine, but he always goes to get it from someone else. Or it's sort of like divine masculine has in his mind that he can like mold a divine feminine out of any other karmic. For some of them, they still are very just unawakened. They still don't understand, like, you can't replicate or duplicate divine feminine, okay? So they will go and present themselves to different, divine feminines or karmics or whatever, hoping for a particular outcome, and they still come up empty-handed, right? And then they don't understand either why they're not receiving genuine love. And the reason why is because they always have a mask on, okay? They always have a mask on. If you go out and you're superficial or you're lying, you're cheating, you're scheming, scamming, you have to know that, like, karma is always going to come back. You're not going to get a genuine love when you don't genuinely love yourself, right? Divine masculine needs to get to know himself, okay? He needs to actually grow and evolve and just actually let his guard down and be more vulnerable. He needs to be gentle with himself and realize that he's gone through things, he's made mistakes, but it's time for him to turn a new leaf, He has to learn that on his own, okay? But I feel like for many of them, they are so afraid that someone is going to dislike them or, just not pay them attention, like, they still haven't settled into the idea of being the good guy, right? So there's just some of the stuff that divine masculine, I guess, needs to work on trying to heal. I'm just going to hop into these other cards here. I won't say that these cards clarify these, but as I look at them, it's interesting because we're selling out. We have gilded regret here. Inner child, we have bride in a cage, clarifying it, and then take off your mask, we have downcast heart. I'm telling you, like, this all goes together so well. I'm so glad that I pulled these cards. So let's just see here. So for gilded regret, look at the picture on this card. So it's like this queen, and she has these really heavy eyes. It's like she has this blue dress on, and her um, her crown has these thorns on it, and like these golden, like metal flowers, it looks like. But she has this orb in her hand. You see that? That, like, it's pretty deep. So this says, I feel like living in the past. Please give me 5 more minutes to linger. So yeah, it's sort of like here, you look at it with selling out and guilt or regret. It's like this divine masculine is like, I'm not quite ready yet to take my mask off and be real. So give me a little more time. And that is where the aggression is coming from with divine feminine. Because divine feminine is like, I've been building myself up. I've been waiting on you. I've, giving you the benefit of the doubt for so long, especially when it comes to third party situations, and you free yourself and you still go the wrong way. Like, hello. So this says, the cage of our memories is the most gilded, lingering to the past, savoring crumbs and flashes, hints and ifs. But is our sword, however, is our shield. We follow the river against the currents to the sea of maybes. We cannot say life is here now. We just say life was here. So that even when the future builds, day by day, we still look backward to memories and possibilities. So, that's the thing. What is so sad about divine masculine is, as he moves forward, he's conscious of the fact that he's going the wrong way. Many of them, they know that they are constantly just selling their souls. And it's like, still, they just keep moving forward. It's like, at what point will they stop in their tracks and address these inner child issues and take off the mask? Like when? So this says, options we missed, things we lost, changes we fled. It is like staying in the twilight of conscious, in the blessed state of those 5 minutes between the time the alarm rings and when you actually have to wake up. Like little kids between the time mom calls and time we need to wake up and run. But those 5 minutes are taking up too much time. Yeah, see, divine masculine right now doesn't understand that Spirit has given them so many chances and opportunities to get themselves together. Divine feminine is the biggest gift to divine masculine. And it's sort of like, what they don't realize is that they're playing with fire. For them to have been given the strength and the courage to get out of a particular situation, to free themselves or to improve their finances or whatever they have done, if they still choose to go the other way and not move towards their divine feminine and do what they need to do, they don't realize that they are literally killing themselves slowly. It's like divine masculine is swallowing his own poison by constantly choosing to be the runner here in this situation. Some of these cards, you guys, the meanings are sort of long, so I'm not going to read all of them. I'm going to move to the next one now. So this one is Bride in a Cage. Okay. Oh my goodness. So you see, like, oh my gosh, this picture is kind of scary. This, I guess, scary monster here though is wearing like a white wedding dress. Or actually it's like a mannequin, I guess. And it seems like, it's in a normal place, but the mannequin is like staring outside, and there's a purple laser that kind of looks like a cage here, okay? So this card says, tomorrow will be the right moment. Tomorrow will be better, even if today is hell. So it's sort of like divine masculine needs to ask himself, it's like divine masculine with these inner child issues is coming to, or the thing that he's running away from is the fact that he's realizing he's never actually lived as himself. He's always waiting for the perfect day to be himself. And the reason why he can't actually be himself or just actually enjoy his life instead of just existing is because he's always wearing a mask. He won't actually surrender to complete healing, right? So this card says, when we put the good of our life just in our expectations, we can dismiss the present, waiting for the dawn we know will arrive. The future becomes a shopping cart. It needs a bit of this, a bit of that, a few kilograms of that, and also a couple of boxes of another this. When we look at it, it shines like a brand new day in a commercial. And as it happens with commercials, when the future comes, it's not exactly perfect. The smile is forced, the day is too hot or too cold, the kiss is dry, the lion limps softly and doesn't roar. As long as something is not here but is pushed further along the timeline, we have the luxury to take it off of reality and treat it as a fantasy. We push forward until we actually catch up with our dream, and then we crash. The future should not feel like a cage. Oh my goodness. You guys, that's the thing. Divine masculine feels like moving towards divine feminine forces them to move towards healing. And moving towards healing for them is so scary that they feel like they're moving, like they are putting themselves in a cage. It says, not even a gilded, wonderful, handmade designer cage. The future is a tree, rough to the touch, full of flowers only in spring, dense and damp through the rain. It's absolutely imperfect. And that's the thing. Divine feminine loves divine masculine, imperfections and all. But divine masculine literally hates himself. He hates himself because of his inner child issues. That's why he's always a sellout. And that's why he keeps his mask on. He feels like his issues, his hurt, his pain, his secrets, it's so much for him to bear that he feels like there's no way another person could actually love him. And it's not even that he's this terrible person. It's simply the fact that he just won't face his shadow side. Divine feminines can understand because many divine feminines have had to deal with their inner child and are still dealing with it. It doesn't matter if you're divine masculine, divine feminine, karmic. The labels do not matter. Healing is not something that you can take a crash course on and it's done. It's like you heal one thing partially to prepare you to just start healing for something else. But that's the part of the connection that divine masculine doesn't understand, is that the whole point of you and him being together is to heal. And hopefully teach others how to heal, right? Oh goodness. I hope he gets it one day. Send him all your love and light. But he has to go through this dark night of the soul himself. So the last card we have here is downcast pride. Okay. So if you notice on this card, like the eyes are really, really dark. With like blood, okay, and it's looking downward. So this is, I don't know what type of person this is. But it shows here, it says that, there's roots as the body from a golden color. And the sky, in the background is really, really gray. Yeah. Very, very interesting detailed photos here. But it says that it says bending to adapt becomes an excuse for the habit of bending. Wow. Does that not go perfectly with take off your mask? Bending to adapt becomes an excuse for the habit of bending. Wow. Okay. It says the root of sadness and grief is deeper than the skin. The only delusion is the gray sky. Survival is a direct consequence of adaptation. What we call adaptation is not the result of a subtle but constantly constructive change of ourselves, but rather a mockery of it as we strip day by day of our dignity in order to avoid conflict with a world that will spread us apart. Sometimes we don't use the best part of us, but rather we draw from the ugliest. We survive and bend our knees because we draw out from our laziness, fear, and disgust. We let our deepest roots go dry, replaced by what can only be called a surge of lack of self-esteem. We are deluded when we think that we are only sacrificing our pride. We cling to vanity, but we can't afford dignity. Honestly, the true delusion is our faith in fall and winter, while we discard spring and summer as fairy tales. The sky can change color too. As long as we sometimes look up, we can notice. Wow. Wow. I'm speechless. Listen, this masculine, like I said earlier, has been wearing a mask for so long. He is so far away from home, being himself, and even divine feminine that he doesn't even know at this point that he's not happy. He really doesn't realize that at this point. I mean, he knows it, but it's like he's on autopilot. Like a train of misery that just never stops. But he has adapted to this. Like it's like he just knows how to wear these masks. He doesn't know how to take the mask off. And then when he does take the mask off, as soon as he gets uncomfortable, it's like he has another mask in his back pocket. Right? And it's all based on survival. Like I said, I feel like a lot of these divine masculines, maybe the way their parents love them or something. There were some issues there because they don't know how to love and receive love. There's this shame and insecurity and regret and just, I mean, this lack mentality that they carry. So, wow. And divine feminine, I know so often it's easy to get really pissed off or aggravated with the actions of the divine masculine. But the reason why I did this reading is so that you can actually see what is going on behind the mask, so that when you send him love and light and you pray for him, you know what's going on. He's a sellout. And it's not that he chose to be like that. He's just afraid to be himself. You know? And the thing about it is, divine feminine has to have some grace and some mercy for the divine masculines because, truthfully, many divine feminines have gone through the same things. But divine feminine has the strength to actually surrender to the divine when her card was pulled and it was time for her to heal and go through her awakening and dark night of the soul. Divine feminine did that alone. You know, she didn't have divine masculine or anyone. And right now, it's sort of like the divine right now is, I feel, removing people from the space and environment of the divine masculine, forcing him to take a look at himself. But for many of them, they will still choose the wrong path. But I mean, it's inevitable. It will catch up to them. Oh, that is good. Look, between worlds. You have. I'm just gonna leave it here. Between worlds. Okay. And then at the bottom of the deck, it says, all that glitters. Go the distance. Time to go. Regeneration. Yeah. This divine masculine, he's at a crossroads, right? He's trying his hardest to get out of this darkness. He can see, taste, sense, smell this beautiful beginning. But this past, this dark energy, the inner child issues, the karmic situations, there's so much that keeps him in between two worlds. Like, no matter how bad he wants to cross over, he continuously stays right there in the middle because he's comfortable with where he is. I didn't say he's happy. He's comfortable with where he is because the truth is, you guys, divine masculine has fallen in love with his pain. He can control his pain, okay? He knows how to deal with it. To walk into something beautiful, he doesn't know how to deal with it. He doesn't know if he will be well received in this new life. He doesn't know. It's bad, but happiness makes him uncomfortable. You know, that's someone who has dealt with abuse and trauma. These are deep-rooted issues. And I think I mentioned even in the reading before, the twin flame reading that I just posted, you have to give them time. Okay, this isn't just, divine masculine is dealing with a karmic partner or different situations because they just don't want to be with you. No, this person has lessons that must be learned before they can actually come to be with you. They are in a transitional like period and phase in their life. And right now they can't really see the truth in any situation. He can't really see what's ahead because he has so much behind him. Okay? He can barely keep his head above water. Okay? So, I mean, I would say for divine feminines that watch it, try not to make so many assumptions right now about the divine masculine. I know some of you are feeling very triggered. You're upset. You don't understand what's taking him so long. You guys, this is what's taking him so long. He's dealing with some really, really deep, dark energies, okay? And he's trying to trust the process so that he can change and grow. But, I mean, quite frankly, his past has left him jaded. And yeah, we can all say, well, part of it is his fault, but a lot of it wasn't his fault. Just like divine feminine, much of what has happened to you or the fact that you're still waiting on your divine masculine, it's not your fault. It's just, hey, it was written long before us, okay? So he's kind of stuck in between, what used to be and what could be or what will be, okay? But I mean, he has to actually take it upon himself to get out of this matrix. He has to actually figure out what his issues are and address them. Okay, he has to make the decision that he wants to heal. Okay, and I guess that of course, once he makes that decision for himself, then at that point he can see you. For many of you divine feminines, like this divine masculine, he can't truly see you because he can't see himself. Okay? He can't see himself. Okay? But through sending him love and light, by you loving yourself, it's teaching him to love himself. Even if it's just, you're sending him love energetically, because right now you don't need to interrupt this. Because he will look for any type of crutch he can find. You can't enable him. This is not the time, and I said it in the twin flame reading, so please make sure you watch that. It is not the time to be a crutch. It's not the time to nurture him. You need to give him very tough love right now, because as soon as he starts to get into this dark night of the soul, any type of feel-good distraction that he can find, he's going to go for it. And as long as there are people around him, as long as there are distractions there, he is not going to take his mask off, right? He has to learn what is valuable to him. And trust me, the dark night of the soul, just like it did for you, divine feminine, it will teach him exactly who matters and what matters, okay? So I would just say, you guys, everything is not as it seems. He has a lot of healing he has to do. Allow him to take the mask off, okay? You guys, in this reading, you have a glimpse here of what's going on with your masculine, the types of energies that he's trying to fight right now. So I would say, please just try to send him positive energy, uplift him, and continue working on yourself. I always say the way that you can trigger your masculine is by you working on yourself. You living a set apart lifestyle and not allowing him to play you. So yeah, have faith in your dreams. Okay? I think that, these messages will be for both you and the divine masculine. Divine feminine, divine masculine. Have faith in your dreams. Okay? Have faith that, whatever it is that you see for yourself, you can absolutely have it. It will come to pass, but you will have to do some work. Okay? It says a personal issue reaches resolution. Oh wow. Full moon in Cancer. Well, I mean, we're having a new moon in Cancer soon. But yeah, this personal issue here of wearing this mask and the inner child issues, something is going to crack. Divine masculine is going to break soon. Okay? And look, you're very close to achieving your goal. So you guys just allow this situation to unfold, okay? I know that it's discouraging for some of you because for some of you, you thought that the main blockage in your connection was the karmic partner. The main blockage has always been your divine masculine. The karmic partners teach them lessons, but that's only part of the plan. That's only part of the journey. You know, there are certain lessons that they actually have to learn on their own, and part of the lesson is learning to release the codependency, learning to have self-worth and value, learning how to, just be their true authentic self. A divine masculine cannot join with a divine union and be a strong, powerful manifester in the union if he doesn't know himself. He can't see you because he can't see himself, okay? So, divine feminine, like I said, you guys, we just decided to peek in on the divine masculine. I hope that you guys will leave me comments and feedback. Let me know if you like this reading. I didn't pull tarot. I just used oracle cards and trusted my intuition and gave you this message. And I really, really hope that it helped, give you some truth or clarity or enlightenment about the situation that you may be in. But please make sure that you like my video, comment, leave me some feedback, of course, or suggestions if you have any. And make sure that you look at my twin flame reading that I just posted as well, because it gives you more insight into what is kind of going on with the divine masculine right now, sort of like in the current energies and day to day. But some of them, I'll be honest, they are out there running wild right now. But that's what tends to happen before that dark night of the soul. You lose control and spirit will sit your butt down, right? Divine masculine will be in a dark room in fetal position soon, crying. It's just a matter of time before he breaks. So, yeah, you guys, again, thank you so much. Make sure that you always go within yourself so that you never go without. Until next time, I love you so much. And again, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Bye.